Hey everybody, I wanted to make a video for you about kind of my top suggestions for using one of those fabulous textured arts bats as seen somewhere around here. I just love bats like this. Anytime I ever see them in pictures, online, or in a store, I have a strange compulsion to buy them, and I love them. And I know I share this love with my friend Ashley Martineau, who made this lovely bat you see. And I just love her work. I love work like this. And as a spinner, I am always like, I'm torn between I want to buy it because I love it and I want to play with it and I want to make cool yarn out of it. But then also, I'm a knitter primarily or a crocheter. I'm not really like a big tapestry weaver. So then I'm like, well, I want to make yarn that I can actually enjoy using. So I have I did my usual thing where I like deep dive into something, a topic, and then have to take it apart and put it back together. And I have made a ebook that will be on Amazon, and it's going to be going out here to the people in my Facebook group. So if you're seeing this video, I'm kind of in that weird, I have made this video and I'm still compulsively checking all the margins in this ebook, and then I am going to send it out free to everybody in my Facebook group. So, if you're seeing this fast enough, get over there and you can get a free copy. If not, it will be on Amazon, and I'm really excited about it. It's called the Delicate Wild. So it's my be sort of my book on more tips on how to use bats like this or textured roving, but spin it in a way that is very usable. So it's a guide. It's full of tips. I'm excited. So here's my video to go along with this. So here we go with my troubleshooting for spinning finer yarn from textured bats. Okay, so my first kind of dilemma that you may run into when spinning from a more textured bat, or not even really a dilemma you'll run into, but I feel like the fear, just from talking to people about this, it seems to be this like boogeyman in your head of like, I'm gonna mess this up. So first off, you just kind of have to, it's gonna be an experiment. It's gonna be fun. And then you can kind of pinpoint what your kind of pain points are with anything, not just textured art bat spinning, but with any sort of spinning or crafting. I mean, like when you start knitting, I know I was really good at like the knit stitches, but then the purl stitches, I'm a loose knitter, so I would get like super loosey goosey with my purl stitches, and so that was something I had to really learn to like tighten up my tension when I was on the purl side versus the knit side with stockinette. So it's the same thing with this. It's, there's going to be some parts that you're going to have to look at harder than others. And so the first thing, let's see, I have this written down. The first problem I feel like you may run into is my yarn feels wiry or harsh. And this is definitely a topic I've talked a lot about just in spinning in general, but I could definitely see how if you're dealing with a lot of different textures, maybe sparkly stuff or locks or, more coarser wools, more small breed sort of wools, rare breed wools, I can't talk, that you may be concerned about it not having, like if you've primarily only spun like super blended, the blended merino silk tops, like, this definitely be a departure from that, but that's half the fun. So if your yarn you are afraid of, or you're running into the problem of my yarn feels wiry or harsh, that is generally an over twisted single. And so I have lots of videos on here on helping people with over twisted singles. So that would be the number one thing, would be you have too much twist. And that could be caused in this instance by maybe not that you don't know what you're doing, but like you are really concentrating on the different fiber types. Maybe you didn't prep it well enough to going into it, that you're kind of overworking it. So like your feet are still going, but your hands and your brain are trying to kind of do too much while you're spinning. It's causing it to be overworked. The other thing could be low tension on, like you don't have enough tension on your wheel, so your yarn is getting twistier than it needs to. Once again, kind of feeding into that overworking it, overthinking it with your hands and your brain. So that would be a number one problem I could see people running into. So, one other challenge you may run into or be afraid that you're going to run into with a more textured bat is fear that like the texture itself was just too much texture, or that your yarn was going like to not hold together, like maybe you had too much trouble with a drafting process, or just too much texture, and your yarn would be the opposite of over twisted, may end up being under twisted or not wanting to hold together. And the main reasons that I think the things you could look out for on that would be just really stripping your bat out. I don't know if anybody else uses that term. That's what I always, when I'm teaching, talk about stripping the, whether it's roving, like pulling your braids into long strips, or I've also had plenty of videos on doing that with bats. So for a more textured bat where you're dealing with lots of different types of like shorter fibers, longer fibers, curly fibers, silky fibers, maybe sparkle, I think the best way to combat that problem would be to really go through, and you would want to more aggressively pre-draft or strip out your bat. So really, depending on what type of yarn you wanted, like obviously if you really wanted lots of texture and kind of more of a thick and thin, thicker, art yarn sort of thing, then I would leave it more together. But if you're wanting to take like a really cool bat, maybe you were gifted or you found in a store or you bought online, or ended up with in a subscription, I would really recommend go through, and it would be kind of fun. Like you can really go through and kind of almost breed study what's in the bat, because that's half the fun of the really mixed bats anyway, is seeing what the different fiber types are that are in them. So I would recommend, have fun, go through and let it be kind of an experiment to pull the different sections. And usually there would be one main fiber. So find out whatever your main fiber is and what the staple length is on that. And then I would set my wheel to appropriately handle that main fiber. Like, is it a merino? Is it a Romney? Is it short? Is it long? Make your settings for that main fiber. And then let the rest of it, even if it involves kind of picking it into sections and then adding it back together in a more curated way, I think would be my number one tip on how to address that concern and, really end up with a yarn that you are happy with at the end. Well, I don't want to give away all of my tips, and I don't want to make this video a million years long. So please check out my book. Like I said, it will be on Amazon, a digital download, or if you're watching this soon enough, I am giving out a free copy to everyone in my Facebook group. So there should be a link here. But I also wanted to include, just for fun and for examples, I have some beautiful pictures of what I consider to be a great example of this delicate wild yarn. So yarn that was spun by hand from more textured bats with different types of fiber in it, and came out very, more on the even side, and knittable, crochetable, weavable, and usable. And I just wanted to show some pictures. So these are pictures from Ashley Martineau's Instagram page. And she has, I think, always call her my friend who's the queen of art yarn. So I know she doesn't mind if I share these. So these were just some examples that I know she spun from her own bats, which were kind of some of my inspiration on this. So I love her bats and her textured braids. We have beautiful single ply. We have double ply. You have pictures here, and I made sure to leave her a little tag at the top, so you can find all of these and more information on her Instagram page, Nuvo. And she also has an amazing how-to art yarn, how to spin yarn YouTube channel, so you should check out her YouTube channel too. I will try to drop all the links. You can see pictures here of usable art yarn and crochet projects, and the crochet was hers, and then also some knitting projects. And the knitting patterns that you see here, depending on where I'm at in this video, are from my the free pattern section on my website. So they are patterns that I came up with that are great for hand spun yarn and more artsy yarn in general, and they are totally free. You just click on them. You just go to the page and click on the pictures, and then you can have the pattern for free. And I, of course, would always love to see if you make any of those, but those are some example pictures from that as well. And then also some weaving. You can see how she has used these bats and the yarn made from these bats in some tapestry weavings. So I just wanted to show some inspiration to get everybody excited about making this type of yarn, and I hope this video was helpful, and I hope my book is even more helpful. So please check it out on either Amazon once it's up, that I have to get it up there, or if you're seeing this like today or tomorrow, come over to my Facebook group and I'll make sure you get a copy, and I hope to see you there.